गणपतये नमः। ॐ गणपतये नमः। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ गणपतये नमः।
Jaythari Mapsko, Jaythari, I greet you very warmly. Mummy, gratitude. Atish ji, very, very welcome.
Thank you so much, Sanesh. Thank you so much.
And a big thank you to Rageshwari also for connecting us. Thank you to her too. Deepa, very welcome, very welcome. Praveen sir, good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir, ji. I think parenting is a new experience each day. And we are here to share all those experiences together. It's an absolutely new experience each day. We get to learn so much from our children. Mummy, gratitude to you. Please share your thoughts, and then Adish ji will start sharing his lovely, joyful thoughts.
While we welcome Mr. Adish Oswal, I've grown up listening to Oswal Group. Ludhiana, Amritsar, Jalandhar. Oswal was all over. Blankets, woolens, particularly for the woolens. Am I right?
Yes, thank you. Absolutely.
So, Saina, you said you are learning from children every day. I want to wonder, where are children learning from? That's a challenge. Where are they learning from? We are learning from children, but where are they learning from? God knows. What do you think, Mr. Oswal? Where are the children learning from?
I would start with, the first line. I truly believe that there is nothing called perfect parenting. I think parenting is a important thing, is a repair work. What we do and what we should do as parents. And it's like bringing up the parent.
Aditya ki connectivity. Suchata, will you check? Aditya, camera, the picture needs.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
You're audible.
Yes.
Right.
You were losing your signal.
Right. So I was saying that, to me, the aspect of parenting is, really about bringing up the parent. I think as a young father, I've really learned, on the job to be a parent. Like, I've become a entrepreneur in the family business. And, at a very young age, there's one great Swamiji, he told me one thing. We met in London with my two young kids. And I asked him that what is the great way of being a parent? So he said, lead by example. If you are sitting on the dining table, seeing your mobile phone or your iPads, they're going to do the same thing. And I said, what was the second one? He said, shut up. That's it. You simply have to lead by example. You don't need to tell these bright young kids anything else. And it is whole so true. And I think the home is the best school in terms of values, ethics, and what they see. Like Dr. Bedi, you rightly asked, that where they learn from. I think they are seeing 10 times more than they listen or hear. And I think that is something which is very, very magical to these beautiful souls who come into our homes and lives. And, like they come through us, but they don't come from us. I think this is what I've also learned in life. So that's my two bits to start with.
Oh,
I think we're
wonderful.
going to make this very interactive. We'll just start sharing our thoughts and asking you questions.
Please.
So we're talking about legacy. We're talking about legacy. We're talking about responsibility and privilege. But how important is your own staying power? Because you can get the legacy, you can get the privilege, but your own staying power and adding your own unique touch to the legacy and the power of humility and gratitude for the legacy. How important is all of this?
I think it is, it's a wonderful question, Sanya. It is extremely important, and it is the foundation, rather. I tell you, for me, more than my business, I would be very emotional and personal in sharing this. Right from my late teens, there has been some obsession about taking my legacy forward, right? And also adding that value. And because I've had the great honor and privilege to live and see my grandfather till my late teens, been in a very large joint family. Our family home was like a mini Rashtrapati Bhavan with 55 rooms at that point of time, to be honest, with three large families with all cousins, uncles, and everybody, Taijis, and everybody staying together with the grandparents. And I was fortunate, being the youngest grandson, to stay with my grandfather. I think the virtues and the values, what you may mention about towards legacy, is extremely important. And that is something which I've taken, seeing within that household of chaos, also of communication gaps. Or rather, talking about family business, if I have to go a little deeper, I don't know if you're aware that more than 95% of the family business in India, they die post third generation. That's very unfortunate, in fact. The reason is all about communication. The reason is all about what you just mentioned, the certain important keywords about the legacy, about values, and about really valuing those things. And from the day one, I have really, really talked very frankly to my children that it's not mandatory for them to join the family business. Because I don't want to push them into something which they are not obsessed about. See, passion is one part. You need to be really obsessed about something in life. From the day one, I'm a basic commerce graduate. I don't have a very high flying degree, I'll be very honest. But I've been on my personal development from last 25 years. Every year I invest a couple of days into that, into various immersions. And I really believe that nothing works better than working on yourself in life. So for me, it has been an obsession. But having that communication that nobody is entitled, which is very, very important in a family business, that, okay, you are born with a silver or a gold spoon, but that doesn't make you entitled. If you really want to join the business, you really need to be committed and obsessed about coming in and adding value. And when you talk about adding value, like for example, in my case, I inherited a textile business, which is our legacy business, which Dr. Bedi also mentioned, which we are known for. And of course, all gratitude to my ancestors, my fathers, my forefathers for that. I almost about now more than 12 years got into real estate business. So we're changing the urban landscape of Punjab through that initiatives. It's no more about housing. Of course, that's a basic part of it, but also creating urban infrastructures. Today when we talk about urban infrastructures, be it shopping centers or be it like social centers, which form the epicenter of every major city, like in India or the world. So that's my contribution. Apart from the textile business faced its challenges and ups and downs, how did I add value to that? Right? I could do that because I have been obsessed to take the legacy forward. Right? So that's what I have been communicating to my children. That look, the doors are open. It's not mandatory, but you got to be clear what value you're going to bring on table, right? Once you're adult enough and you want to do something and want to come in.
Ji. Mummy?
How do you parent them? How do you parent your children?
The most important thing, Dr. Bedi, is that you cannot tune them beyond a point. I think my kids are in teens, mid-teens. Of course, their mother had a great role to play to build the foundation and put in the values. I think expression, to really have a safe place on the dining table or in a casual or an informal environment, to be able to talk anything and everything.
Yes.
I think that is something which we really have held very, very guardedly, close guardedly. That's number one. Number two, I would not say I give too much of quantity of time, right? I'll be very honest. I give quality of time. So it's like, what I invest is that quality of undiluted time with my children, right? And that to try and do something what they value, basically, not what would you like. So if my daughter loves shopping, for example, I would like to do that with her, and if my son loves to watch a football match or a cricket match, would like to, do that with him, basically, right? And, it's about unconditional sharing. I would say sharing is one of the most important things. So, it's okay to be also vulnerable. I think vulnerability is also a great strength, and that allows them a safe place that they can share and talk anything. And when they do, they share very, very, extreme things, and as teens, I must confess that you cannot react. You got to really take a breath and pause and respond, and not judge at all, because you don't know what's happening in their world, and that is something which is so important, so important. I will give you an example, Dr. Bedi. About drinking, let's say, for example, not to make it a taboo, but to tell them, I love wine at times, but to tell them that, look, whenever you want, give your father and mother the opportunity to do the first cheers with you. And to that day, their friends tell them they don't indulge. They are so committed, that we'll do our first drink whenever we want. It's not that they want to, but with our parents, So I'm giving a very small example to you, basically. So I think it's a lot about leading by example, lot about having, sharing, being vulnerable, giving them the space to speak and listen, actually, not be a tutor or a parent, like, keep talking the other way around. I feel that is really, really good.
Adishji,
How do you pick up the signs? How do you pick up the signs? Where is the direction? How do you pick up the signs? Where do you pick up the signs? And what do you do between you and your wife?
So now both kids are at a boarding school in Bangalore. Until about 2.5 3 years ago, they were their early teens. I think the formative years of life are very, very important. Like typically till the age of 7, I think you have to broadly say yes. I think, you really have to buy in a lot of things, what we believe. Being as a mother, I think love, values, respect for, like, for example, if you're eating food, to be able to teach them to go in the kitchen and put your own plate, even if we have enough stuff in the house, right from those basic things, like valuing those things, or sabko ji se bulana, like, for example, they're not allowed to speak by the first name, even if there is a, like a ex staff member, they have to add G, or or a Didi, or a Bhaiya. And this is from the day one, which is valuing all, humans, or people around in every form, basically. So I think empathy is something, because, I've learned you need to have a clear heart and open mind. That's a very lethal combination in life. During my personal life development journey, I think that is something very important. How to really have your independent thinking. So we always ask them very open questions, and we always take their view. What do you view? Like for some summer break, for example, where would you like to go? Why would you like to go? So I think for me, Dr. Bedi, is, since I am very curious myself, I am consistently investing time every year on my personal development. I try and tone it down and try and do various things with them in terms of communication and tests at my own level. Some are success, some are failure, right? But what is very important is to try and be calm. Of course, even we lose anger at times as parents. But as much as repair work I can do, reflect back and go back to them and really confess and acknowledge, I think that is something which is most important in life.
Deepa ji, I
So
want
they
to
are in
come
a
to you.
hostel. They are in a hostel.
That's
If
right.
we can mention it, they are in a hostel. So what happens when they return to you?
When they return to me, they are the first priorities. I make sure that even from my office, I go home and try and have lunch with them. Even if it's at a little order. I love, like, for example, being a little on a feminine side. I love, what you call food shopping and various other things. So I, we have this work. Like a fun thing called milk buns. So I get various stuff, all the exotic fruits and vegetables, and I send in our family group, and they get feeling very excited. Like my son loves cooking, for example. He loves to experiment various things, and same my daughter, she's a foodie as well. So these are the few things which every time, how to make them special. They're coming home. So home is not only their bedroom or their home or their parents. Home is what something special. How we can make it happen. Like my daughter was over. Last week we saw the semi-final match together. We had a great evening together, a wonderful time together. Though it was a weekday, but made it happen no matter what. That is non-negotiable, right? So most important is quality time. If you're with them, phones have to be away. One big rule till time is not an emergency. Basic things. I think, Dr. Bedi, if as a parent one is able to do, I think you've done a wonderful job.
Wonderful. Deepa ji,
Thank you.
Before-
Thank you.
before we come to you, sir, just a quick note. It's wonderful what you're sharing. I do believe children that come with certain privileges, that parenting journey is very different. And for children who don't come with certain privileges, that parenting journey is very different.
Right.
आप जो parenting कर रहे हैं, I think it's wonderful because you all have a common language. You're talking and speaking in the same language. The other thing I find lovely is that एक बच्चे को ना अपने पेरेंट को देख के घबराहट नहीं होनी चाहिए. एक बच्चे को अपने पेरेंट को देखकर खुशी होनी चाहिए, सुकून होना चाहिए, एक सेंस ऑफ सेफ्टी होनी चाहिए.
Very true. So true.
That is what you're doing.
So true.
The minute a child sees the parent, I think there should be a smile on the child's face.
Yeah.
I think there should be. Otherwise, that's the litmus test.
So I will give you a small example, though it was very small. Usually when our kids go abroad, most of the parents would receive them at the Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore airports, because when they're coming from outside, from England or from US. I try at least 6, 7 out of 10 that even they're coming from Bangalore to Chandigarh, but I go to Chandigarh airport and pick them up. And between my daughter and my son, they say that, I told you Papa would come. I told you, because I don't tell them that I'm coming. So that one, even if they know, because it's become a little more predictable now, I'll be very honest, that small sign of surprise and that hug is the most beautiful thing. That is worth the journey. So these are things, which I think, I don't know whether it's not about what class you belong, but the basic things. If you can do that, if you can take out these times and create these moments, which is as simple as this, it is so beautiful, isn't it?
Ji. Deepa ji.
Ji, actually, I was just listening to how beautifully Oswal ji was talking about. It's about bringing up parents. I mean, that sentence is such a simple twist to what we usually hear. It's about bringing up kids, but that twist is so deep. I believe I am a parent who believes that parenting is an extremely difficult task. I don't show it out to my kids, but then I do not, anyone who says that parenting is easy, could be a father mostly. But then I would say mostly it is a really difficult task, I feel. I think the most important thing that we generally miss while raising kids, and what I tend to take a little seriously, is the fact that children should be taken a little seriously, because many a times we feel, because we're talking about leadership begins at home, we're talking about how we can mold future leaders. And when kids come and talk to us about certain things, brushing them off, or answering them immediately because what they're about to tell you, you might know 90% of the time, you might know what they're getting at, but at the same time, it's important to act curious, listen to what they've got to say, and give them the feeling that they're giving us something new. That builds a lot of confidence at an early stage, I believe. And that's not from a parenting point of view, from a society point of view as well. I still remember the time when I was in a hotel with my elder son, and I was busy with something. So he wanted something, and I told him, you can go and ask, the waiter yourself, and he'll help you out with it. He went there, and sadly, they didn't help him out because they didn't take him seriously, because he's a kid, he's a child, right? But he's an 8-year-old, and when this happened, today he's 9, but at that point he was 8 years old, and I don't understand. And the same thing, when I went and told them, they took it seriously. So obviously it's about how the society and all of us are in that wiring where kids need not be taken seriously. I think that's the point. Me as a parent, I always try to make sure that, whatever my kids do, I give them the feeling that you're heard. Okay, what you say makes sense, and or it doesn't make sense, but it is important. I think that gives a lot of confidence to them, and that builds a great personality. The second thing about leadership is, leadership styles have changed even in organizations. It's no more about telling somebody what to do, right? I've been into HR for a really long time, and I have seen how, when we keep hiring employees, of late, when we hire employees from the Gen Z generation, they are not going to sit and listen to instructions given. But the way to build respect is when they see somebody doing something that earns their respect. I think the same applies at home as well. It is important to step away from where do this, do that. It is needed at times, but you should also blend it with, less of talk and more of action. Let them see you and let them learn. Because I think that's the kind of leadership that works everywhere, not just at home, not just in families, but in organizations. So why not at home? So I think these were the two immediate points that I make sure as a parent I practice this at home. One is to take them seriously, and I keep telling this to whoever I see as well outside, among my friends also. When they don't take kids seriously, I say, he's saying something, maybe you know it, but for him it's new, so make him feel important. I think that's one thing. And the second thing is about also making them do not just go into that do this, do that mode, and shifting it more towards let them see and learn, because that's the kind of leadership that works, I feel.
Wonderful.
How nice. Praveen sir, what is strict parenting and discipline, because I also agree with Deepaji that when the child knows you truly care and you're trying to understand what the child is feeling, they relate to you much better, and they have their own world, they have their own issues. So, sir, yes, strict parenting in today's times, what is that, sir? What is that?
So I believe, like, so the parenting needs to be, am I audible? Clear?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
So I was trying to say, it's like, the parenting need not be strict in the real sense of the word or the verbal meaning of strictness. So the parenting needs to be firm to a large extent. The parent needs to be very friendly, so very approachable, so highly connectable, and the parent should be the first person a person reach out if they are into any trouble. And the parent needs to be the first person they say any problems in their life. So we need not expect that they share every secrets of every personal things with us, but we should expect that when they are into a trouble, when they're into a problem, when they need help, we should be the first person they reach out. And in that case, we need to be open, we need to be approachable. And what I want to take from what Adish sir said is like, we want to be non-judgmental, which is very important. If we become judgmental, it is too tough that they will be reaching us. It's very unlikely. So in that way, we can create a safe and perfect environment. And see, we have traveled the world. I mean, we have traveled the route which they are traveling now. So some of the things which they are traveling, some of the activities which they are doing, may be very, very trivial for us, maybe very meaningless for us. So that's what Deepa said, like, but we shouldn't be considering it in that way, but we should be giving them much more value at that point also, because then it creates a safe, non-judgmental, so open space where they can come to us at the right point when they are into any trouble or any problem. But that doesn't mean that, in my point of view, it needs to be the parent needs to be the friendly with children, but may not be friends with children. Okay. So they have friends to play that role in their life. The parent can be a bit firm, not strict, I would say, a bit firm, because that will be providing an anchoring and security point for the children to rely upon. Because the study says when the parent is a firm parent, not a strict parent, a firm parent, and the parent is also insisting the right thing and being very soft with something, so the people feel that this guy can protect us, because when they're growing us up, some kind of protection layer should be there, so that, like, they feel more comfortable, more safe, and they will be able to explore things in a better way if they feel that they are in an environment of protection. So that level of protection can be there, and the protection need a certain kind of firmness also. So in that level, I think I do define the strict parenting in this way. And the one very good thing I find is, see, as part of my life, as part of my career, so I deal a lot with the parents of children. I mean, the parents of children who are currently in school. That means, because we work very closely with the schools, and we are into career planning and future planning of children. So many a times when we are talking to children, parents become a part of the conversation, and or parents talk to us more than some children talk to us. Okay. So from there, what I see is, or what I understand is, so, and I have been into this industry for the last around 20 years. So there is a big shift from 20 years back and now, whereas parenting is a serious affair now with the new generation. I mean, for the parents who are into their 40s and 30s and 40s, I see parenting is a serious affair for them. They don't take it for granted. They are understanding what parenting is. They want to understand what parenting is. They do reflect them as a parent. They are ready to course correct. They are ready to talk about parenting with other parents. They're ready to learn from other parents about this. And they do take a conscious effort to understand their children, because Adish sir was saying about the conscious effort which he is taking to accommodate his children. I really don't think that 2 generations back that was a scenario. So it's like, the parents take very conscious effort to spend time with the children. And so putting all together, I think the current generation of parents whose children who are currently in school are in a very good scenario, whereas they're exploring parenting very positively. And these parents are in fact not negatively strict, but very firm in parenting, but at the same time very friendly with children. So this is a scenario I see at this point, Senator.
Just to add to that, Senaji, yes, Kiran ma'am, yes, after you.
You go ahead. I think you had a thought of a continuity. I'll reserve my question for a while. You go ahead, Deepa.
Okay. No, I was just saying, Senaji, that just adding to what Praveen said, that we take it seriously and how we compare with our previous generations. You have a child and then you have a second child. The way, the siblings are treated itself has become so different now, because I do that myself. Because with all honesty, with all the love for my mom, I can definitely say that she could have done a better job at that, but then she never knew it. She's the best mom I've seen, but still there were a lot of things that she could have done differently. But then today, if you look at how I do it, I make sure that there are no comparisons. I make sure that my elder son is not unnecessarily bullied because the younger one is better at something. So that extra effort that we take is because we take parenting a lot more seriously. So just wanted to add this point. Yes, Kiran ma'am, over to you.
Oswalji, I was wondering, since you've sent your children to a boarding school, was it a conscious choice to send them to a boarding school?
Yes, actually, we try and do our annual what we call a blueprint, like a goal setting, desire, towards the end of the year. So this was way back in 2023. We were doing the annual thing, and my son said, Krishav, he said that, Papa, I would like to explore a boarding. We never said anything, me and my wife, we never wanted, to be honest, to send our children away from us. We really believe that they should be with us throughout, because in any case, they have to go outside college. So since he said, as part of a newer thing and his desire, we said, let's explore it. And, we went to like various schools. And of course, so this is one great school where they both are. And that's how it happened. So what happened when Krisha went to the boarding, because he loves sports. He's a great athletic on tracks, and he loves sports. He's a rank, and he's a lead athletic of the school as well. And also the vice captain and captain of his various sports team and stuff. So seeing him, my daughter got inspired that, and she is one of, soul who loves her room, loves her pets, loves her home like anything. She making a decision to go to a boarding was a completely out of the blue, today's kids can really surprise you, Dr. Bedi. But the inspiration came to her seeing her brother, how he was experiencing the boarding life, the holistic development, and the exposure within few weeks of him going to the boarding.
And
what difference did you see? What changes did you see as they grew, when they return? What do you think? What are the benefits? What are the pros and the cons? What are you benefiting, or what are you happy with?
So, couple of things. A great question. Couple of things. A, they are able to play a lot of sports, which unfortunately in Ludhiana, being of course like a day scholar school, they come back home by 3:00. Then they have to change and go back. So the travel times is one. Then their classes, tuition. So by the time they sleep, it's 9:30, 10, and you hardly get time for various things. There's a lot of homework. So that's of course little conventional schooling, in this part of India. Though the schools are great, I'll be very honest, till a particular class. Sports, great amount of sports, and sports, not only about sports, they teach you a lot about collaboration, team spirit, losing, winning, appreciating each other, and thanks to the school ecosystem, they've had international students, and also like faculty. Most important, more than 60% of the faculty is global faculty, which really matters in terms of everything, be it the academics or the sports. Second, being a part of the Cambridge curriculum, they've gone through various foreign language things like drama, global perspective, psychology as a subject, So it's opening up their mind. The application of their creativity and the mind is really going very, very wide. And most important, to be able to travel alone. I think from the age of 12, 13, they are taking flights on their own. They've been traveling on their own. They've been trying to manage their excess baggage from suitcase to hand baggage and those small little things, which is so wonderful of being independent. They are mindful now that, okay, what is a 15-kilo bag? What is it like a 20-kilo bag? So I think that is wonderful, especially in the boarding. The great thing is that, like my daughter, she gets very emotional with her friends. They keep changing the like roommates. So sometimes she has a like a northeastern girl. Sometimes she has a girl from Bombay and a Korean girl. So it's the diversity to be able to adjust with different sorts of people. We are pure vegetarian, like, by the way, coming from a Jain mythology and religion background. For them to live with somebody who's a non-vegetarian is very different. Of course, they don't eat like but to be able to appreciate. I think all these things, little things, have been great transformation. My daughter, especially, I like to mention, she's been a dancer from the age of 2. Her getting into sports was completely unimaginable. Today, she loves sports like she loves dance, including football, sports of like men's level. So those are the things, apart from academics, stage, and things which she loves, she's been able to build and pick up those skills.
Fantastic. You really promoted the cause of boarding schools. You really marketing the concept of boarding. It's remembering the way you convinced,
Yeah,
and you're right.
but I,
You're right on
but I,
time saving.
but I never pushed it. It came, the most important, it came from them. And I would address to one point which Deep also mentioned about comparison. See, one thing which we've been very mindful, we've never ever compared our children. Never ever. Both are unique. I mean, every human is a book in himself or herself. This is what I truly believe, and we as parents truly believe. We've never ever compared them with each other or them with any. We said, you are your biggest competitor. Like we talk in business. Who's your biggest competitor? Yourself. You got to break your own establishment. You got to break your own benchmark. As simple as that. So that amount of communication and clarity we've been having from many, many years ago, very, very nascent stage.
And along with it, what about they know they're returning? They are from very wealthy families. How do they value money? How are you teaching them money values, wealth value?
I think I'm a spoiler. Thanks to the mother, she controls that part much better. I would say that we really two things to that. One, we have a defined pocket money. Okay, there is no open budgets, and we've also restricted the online payments. It's a separate bank account. That too, in case of emergency or GPs and all those things, right? And they know that they are going to get that much money only. That's number one. If they shop, they will shop from that money, and that is not a big amount, Dr. Vidya. I'll be very honest, and I don't mind sharing. It's a very humble amount a month, because of course they're boarding. They go out on the weekends and they order. At times they get allowed once a month to order food for them, so they share among their friends and all that. So that is one thing very, very clear. For example, my daughter loves to order. So between me and my wife, very clear. If you order, like what you call online deliveries, it's going to go from your pocket money. It gets deducted. Yes, when we're going for family trips, you will have your amazing time to go crazy on shopping. But it has to be once a summer, once a winter. You cannot shop every month, right? So I think that's the kind of a value which and also in terms of that you have to achieve something. Okay, you would have desire. Of course, we give them the basic stuff, like a good phone, a good laptop. That's all basic in today's world. But then if you want something, you really have to also earn it. That is something. Like, for example, phone. I think between me and my wife, we've been very conservative. Today, the phones are given at a very, very early age. But we gave it, I think, to my daughter. She's 16 this year. We gave her like 2 years back when she was 14. And that too with certain rules. It's like same to my son. That too when she was going to boarding. So we said, let's give her a phone. So I think these are the things which is that you are not entitled just because you're part of this family. You'll get everything on the platter. No, yes, you'll be well taken care. You'll be well exposed. Like for example, in terms of exposure, I make sure that my children, and I'm blessed to be part of great world organizations, be it the YPO or the EO or global like networks. Whenever I get an opportunity, I take my kids with me, no matter where it is. Even if it's a day trip, I make sure that they are meeting somebody, they're interacting with people, diversity. Like I will give you a small example. Like my daughter wants to be in fine arts. So I took the opportunity to meet her to Raju Hiraniji, who's a great producer come like director of great movies, just to know that okay, what it takes to be a good actor, good dancer, or to be in that line of industry. She's just in ninth grade, but trying to expose them to the people who are in that area, so that they know the reality, so that it's not simply like the merry-go-round kind of a world. It's not like a fantasy world to be an actress or to be a dancer. Similarly, my son, he himself wants to do business, right? So exposing them to the real world of business. Like whenever we have some workshops of IPO or of family business conferences, I try and take him along so that he understands the meaning of family business. He understands, he hears more entrepreneurs, not only his father. And this is happening not from today, Dr. Bedi. Last many, many years, even when they were in a single digit of age, to be honest, basically.
Very creditable.
Ji.
Very creditable.
Praveen
You're preparing your next generation for carrying
Yes.
forward your legacy.
Thank you.
Yes,
Super.
yes. जी प्रवीण सर, आदेश जी ने बात की वैल्यू की, मुझे बताइए, टॉक टू मी अबाउट दिस. ये एक संस्कार है, is it inherently in someone or it can be taught? Because certain children from very privileged backgrounds inherently they value every little thing, and certain children just don't. Can it be taught, or is it an inherent sanskara?
I think it's a mix. So it's not a diplomatic answer, but I very firmly believe it is a mix. So it's a
Right.
mix of what what their mom and dad have in them, which they inherit from them. So that is of course a part of that, because the genetical studies even deeply say that even the tone of communication, the choice of words they use in their communication, so the body language, the movement of arms, the movement of fingers, even that everything can be inherited in the same way. So a part of the values could be inherited. That's what I believe. That is one way. So number two, so what exactly they see, so from their mom and dad. So Rishi rightly mentioned about so insisting people to add G or Didi or Baya when they are addressing with the team around. So that is a very important point, and that they should see from how to the parent address as well, right? So it's like so one is what they inherit, maybe a part of genetically their values and their life. So number two, what they see from the early childhood, from their mom, from their dad, from their teachers, which is very important. So that's where exactly the schools come in place, because many times the children in their childhood, so the mom and dad are taking care of them. At the same time, there would be child carers who are taking care of them. So the nannies who are taking care of them. So their values, their language, their conversation can influence children in a very good, very deeper extent. They are spending around half of the time they awake between the age of 5 or age of 4 or 5 till the age of 20, mid 20s. They're in fact spending their time with their teachers. And in their teens, they're spending majority time with their teachers. So what is the value which the teacher was carrying forward is very important. And the value and the culture of the school become very important. So I think, and even the values they see from the movies they watch, from the books they read. So I would say, Sanaji, it's a collective. It's a bit complex and it is a collective. And being a parent, and we should be having a total control on this situation, I would say. It's not an illusion of control. We need to have good control on this because, see, as mom and dad, we need to be pretty good in the values which we follow. And we need to be very selective about the staff at our home and staff who are dealing with our children, which is very, very important because they, during their formative years, would be spending a lot of time with the staff at home. So that is number two. Number three, when we select a school for children, usually we don't really talk to the teachers. Usually we don't understand about the kind of teachers in the school. So we may be sometimes going with the brand of the school. So the brand may be there because of multiple reasons. So it is very important to make sure we have the right teachers at the school. So these kind of intervention, and so it's not intrusion, but I firmly believe the parents needs to be pretty clear about who the children are friends with, which is very important. So this level of a comprehensive, see, parenting itself is like bringing up a company. So if I'm an entrepreneur and I bring up the company, I need to be having key eye on its finances, its HR, its marketing, its sales. So I need to have a key eye on all the aspects of the company. In the similar way, when I'm growing up a child, so I think in terms of values you precisely asked, I need to have a very key eye on every stakeholder who is dealing with my person, every stakeholder. So, and I need to be very clear. So he is getting exposed to the right values in the society, and we cannot always ensure that. So, if any shift in values is happening with the children, we need to enter, we need to intervene, not with a cane, not with not yelling at them, but we need to expose them to the ill effects of that, and we need to show them what can happen if they don't carry the right values. And see, that level of a conversation take time, but we have to invest time in that. I'm not saying that everybody is become, I'm 100% successful in that, but I'm attempting to do that. So that level of an attempt is what important. So Senaji, I think precisely it's complex, multiple stakeholders, and we need to be having a control on that.
Ji, thank you. Atish ji, something I can't stop myself. I have to ask you. हमारे मेरा दिल तो कर रहा है वैसे बोलने के लिए, पर मैं नहीं बोलूंगी. हमारे पंजाबी घरों में होता है ना, हमारे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स हो है की करके आ गई, ऐसे की करके आ गया. वो जमाना तो अब चला गया, where the father is holding his heart and the mother is crying. वो जमाना तो अब चला गया. तो how do you take care of that? हो एक ही हो गया, ते हाय एक ही हो गया, उनकी होना है. How do you take care of all of that? And a little question extending. See, I work with children from all sections. तो मैं आपसे एक बात पूछ रही हूँ. Some children have seen life only from the glass windows of their cars. So my
Right.
one question is, how do you take care of the ho and the high and hunki honai? And the other question is, how do you make sure children know the realities of life? Is it only
Right.
through documentaries or getting them to do voluntary work, or
So I
Let's-
will start with the second one.
the ho question? Acha, the second part
I'll
first.
cover the second part first because that's very, very important.
Yes.
And I think, one must acknowledge gratitude and blessings in life, which is so, so important. And I make sure that whether I work or not, but I am absolutely grateful every morning and before sleeping of the day, before the night. My daughter, she has just started like a humble, like a club in her school called Amor Soe, which is, she loves dance. And being in ninth grade, she has to work for her college and stuff going forward. So when she was asked by her counselor what she would like to do, she said that on the weekends, maybe at least twice a month, I would like to go out to the underprivileged school and teach dance. Right? This is her own initiative. basically, and that was so beautiful. So this is not only me, of course, it's both the mother and the father, which is very, very important. Unko, the mother makes sure that they go to gaushala, and so on and so forth. Those basic things whenever they are in town, which is very important. During the birthdays, we try and take them to various schools. It's not only they're cutting cakes with their friends and having gala parties, and strawberry dipped in chocolates, but they're also giving, sweets to various schools, going to various orphanages, and those areas, which is so important. So making sure that they're aware about the world. The world is not only a palace. They're absolutely aware about the world. So that is number one. Uh, which we really make sure. We really make sure that. And I think they have a beautiful heart. They have a lot of empathy towards their own blessing and towards others. I'm blessed to have these two amazing souls in my life. As our children. The first question, wo jo ho wala, of course, Punjabi is a very, very fun. Fortunately, both of our parents, me and my wives, are a little more contemporary. I'll be very honest. Of course, my father was little conventional than my mother. My mother hails from Chandigarh, so she's a little more like Chandigarh oriented. you know, and she's been in a convent school, and she's been a captain. She's very, very forward looking. So even my own affairs in my life, I used to talk to about with my mother. I think थोड़ा हॉ वाला फैक्टर कम है हमारे देश में। वो typical नहीं है, and and I think they are blessed to have great grandparents, great elders, great mamas, chachas, buas around. So that is a great blessing. So I don't have a complaint on that front.
That's wonderful. That's a great blessing. Deepa ji, our dearest Deepa ji. Our children have their own heart, mind, body, soul. They also have their own desires. I want this. I want my life to look like this. बहुत थिन लाइन है। 15 के बाद बच्चे को यूथ बोल देते हैं। वो बच्चा है।
Yeah.
है ना? तो बहुत थिन लाइन है। Mama, I want this. I want this for myself. How do you take care of that? I want this. When you know that this child will have to explore that I want and learn. And how important is, as a mother, to let your child explore that I want, but yet silently be that rock of Gibraltar for your child. Keep that watch, but let that child go through that I want, because otherwise the child is not going to learn.
Yeah.
So how do you...
Yeah, I think Senaji, that's a very real question, something that we handle on a day-to-day basis. My son actually keeps, I don't know if every kid does this, but when I was a kid, I remember, I don't know at what age, but I just wanted to grow up. I mean, I just wanted to be, just be independent and do things and, don't be, maybe because I was treated too much like a kid, I just wanted to get out of the shackles of, being a kid. But then what I find about my son is he keeps telling me, I don't want to grow up. So somewhere I feel I do not understand, where does it come at the age of 8 or 9? If I remember right, from the age of 7, he's been telling me this. I don't understand, how is he aware of the bliss that he is experiencing right now as a kid? That really, really surprises me. And it surprised me and my husband every time when he says that I don't want to grow up, which means he's enjoying the fact that he's a kid. And, so that growing up is really a struggle. He spoke to me about it even yesterday night. So the one thing I believe is about, talking, that communication, it's important. Like I said in the beginning, I keep going back to that take them seriously, so if they say, they want that, they want this. It is important for us to listen to it, ask them, why do you need it now? Not just, it's very easy for parents to say no. And that was probably the most frequent word used by our parents or, the previous generations. But today it's all about going a little deeper and ask them, why do you need it? And what are the benefits of it? You go ahead and explore yourself and tell me what are the benefits of it, or how could it do wrong to you? I think these are the kind of things that I can proudly say that it's our generation who does it, who takes it more seriously and does that. I think that conversation with kids, asking them to go ahead, explore yourself and come back and tell us, do you still want it? For example, there was a time when he had to go for a picnic from school. And I was in Dubai at work. And I still remember, to be precise, I was in Abu Dhabi. And he calls me and he says, Amma, there is his excursion. So he is a very home kind of a boy. He doesn't like going out much. So I understood he's in a confusion. And he was looking at me giving him, taking that decision for him. But I didn't do it. So it was tough for me because if I was tempted to tell him, no, you have to go. This is good for you. If you sit at home, you're just going to watch TV. So you should go. But instead, I told him, think carefully and let me know, what is it, you can sit at home any day, but going to the excursion gives you so many more experiences. At the same time, when you're at home, you can be comfortable. So explore all of this and come back with a decision yourself. And whatever you do, I'll stick by it. And I told him that. And after a while, he called me and he said, he's a kid after all, so he won't be able to make the right decision in one go. So after a while, he called me and he said, I don't want to go. I said, okay, are you sure? I'll inform your teacher. And he's like, no, I think I will go. My friends are going. So finally, that it requires a lot of effort, which is why I go back to saying that parenting is tough. It's never easy it's easy to just take a decision for them. But the more time you invest with them, you wait for them to make that decision, it requires a lot of effort, I think. And there are a lot of parents who tell me, I'll just add this and we'll wind up. I mean, I know we're running short of time.
No, please.
So just one point, there are parents who tell me that, does Yag come home and say things to you? Because whenever I try to have a conversation with my child, he says, I don't know, I forgot what happened in school, right? And then I don't know what to do. I think parents need to be a little smart here. So what I do is I keep asking him, you were telling me about this girl, Tanya. How is she now? Does she sit next to you? And then he says, no, next to me is Mohammed. So then I say, oh, Mohammed, you have not told me about him. So what about the other? Who did you play with today in the playground? So kids are not going to remember everything and tell you. But it's important for us to pick the right points, brew the right interesting conversations with them, and then be smart enough to identify patterns. So I think that is something that our parents probably think that, oh, he doesn't tell me anything. It's our responsibility to take that effort. Again, parenting is tough. It's not easy. So you need to take that effort and brew it out of them.
But then it's very important when they share something with you, we don't bring the roof down.
Absolutely. Reaction.
And we don't bring the roof down. 2, we don't tell the whole world about it. 3, we don't keep taking advice what to do with my child. Why is he saying this and why is he doing this?
Yeah.
The child must feel very safe.
Promises as well.
Yes, the child must feel the child must feel, I am so glad I spoke to my dad or my mom about this. If something is going on in your child's mind, your parenting must be whatever it might look like. It's different for everyone. The child must run back home to tell you about it. You need that connect with your child in today's time because you are your child's greatest well-wisher. And we have a lack of that outside. So you do need that kind of bond with your child. So that's very important. Your child ought to run to you and say, Mama, this is what's happened.
Exactly.
Daddy, this is what's happened.
And you said, this energy, it's important. That safe space also comes from keeping promises. I tell you this because there are situations where my son has come and told me and made me promise, don't tell anyone else about this. And that includes his dad, or that may include, his grandparents. He says, don't say. And it is important that I keep that promise. It's not that, I brush it off. Again, it's about taking it seriously. It's not that, oh, he just said something. It's okay, we can discuss it. No. I made a promise to him. I need to take it seriously. I think those little things it's actually smart things to do, smart ways of parenting.
You know, another thing the children are doing these days, which is very interesting, which is nice also in a way, they come and they'll tell you, after telling you, I'm sure Adishji will add to that, they'll tell you, okay, now I've told you, now I don't want to talk about it. Give me some time. We'll let me just think about it more. I don't want to talk about it right now, Dad. I don't want to talk about it now, Mama. Can we talk about it tomorrow? So you have to say, yeah, sure. You can't say, अभी तो बोला था, अभी तो क्या बात करनी है, अभी क्या हुआ 1 मिनट में? Are you in your mind? Why are you contradicting yourself? ये सब नहीं बोलना. They are as real as what you feel.
True.
So Adishji, how do you handle this little mini adult talk, that transition phase from a teenage to a growing young man, your son and your daughter?
I think they are,
Young woman.
I mean, very rightly said, they're already young adults. I would say anybody in today's world at 14, 15, 16 are bravo young adults. I mean, they talk, they think. I mean, 10 years plus ASAP, I mean, kind of a
Yes.
situation. And I think what's very, very important is not to be controlling. I mean, what you're trying to say is not to be controlling, is to allow to give that space. Because if they have told you, if something is bothering them or they want to run by you, it will come in one or the other form for sure.
True.
I truly believe that. I truly believe that. And I think it's also very important when they are low and when they make mistakes or do something, I mean, pardon my language, stupid, let's say, for example, how are you responding? What is your facial expressions or whatever, you know?
Yes.
And, I think that is something, because that will build a courage, a physical courage in their mind and heart, that
Yes.
till what extent they can go and share with you,
Yes.
basically, how freely, how frankly they can share with you.
Yes.
I think that is something which is very, very important.
Yes, it's very important. Lovely. Oh, we've concluded. हमारा time पूरा हुआ event का. Is Mummy joining us? Did she have to leave for something? Do we wait? What do we do?
We could
Do we
wait for
conclude? We'll wait for her.
let's wait for a minute and we can.
Yes. I'll make that call. I think there must be something important that's come up. Or do we conclude? And we'll connect. We'll connect again.
Sure, as you feel well.
Sure.
Can you write in the chat box? So can anyone connect, please, and write in the chat box? Do we conclude?
We can conclude, Sanaji.
Yes, sir. Praveen sir, thank you so much. We've had a lovely conversation, a very happy conversation. Deepa ji, lovely. It's always lovely seeing you.
My
Aditi,
pleasure.
Thank you. Aditi, it's been so wonderful talking to you.
Wonderful.
And
I mean,
wonderful.
you are so experts. I've just shared my own personal practical life experience, and I truly believe that nurturing talent at work and at home is not a big difference. There would be small nuggets here and there. It's like a big keyboard of different things. So have to tweak it here and there, but it's nurturing talent at home and in workplace. We do it all the time. I think there are a lot of common things between that leadership development.
And you've brought in a lot of joy and hope. It's wonderful to see young parents like you. It's really nice.
Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Praveen sir. Thank you, Deepa ji. Thank you,
Sanaji. Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
Sanaji. Thank you so much.
Pleasure meeting all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kiran ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Jai Dhariba. We'll stay connected.